Hey everyone, and if you celebrate Christmas, I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and I hope your holiday is going wonderful. For this video, you can see we're going to use a Spellbinders die, and I'm a big fan of Spellbinders. It's actually one of the first dies that I bought when I started in this crafting journey, so to speak. I'm using a Ranger background die in French script with potting soil archival ink. I'm using 2 shades of red and 2 shades of green. This is Recollections cardstock, 65-pound weight, so it's not too thin and it's not too thick for all the layering that we're going to do. I don't need perfect impressions, but I want to stamp all of these. So this is going to be kind of like a mini mixed media type thing. But I just want the impression. I want the leaves to not be plain. I want them to have some stamped texture on them. So you can see I got it all over my fingers because the ink never stays on the paper. And you can see this is called Holiday, and it's going to build a poinsettia. Now it comes with 7 dies. Is it me or does 2 of them look the same? Those 2 right there. To me, they just look the same. I'm not quite sure. But we're not going to use those. We're going to be using these. So I die cut 2 sets of each from each of the colors. This is actually, yes, it's the Wonky die, but it's a Gina Marie Designs Wonky die set. And I'm going to put the link below. I encourage you to check out that site. Great price points, and now I have 2 different sets of Wonky dies. This is exciting and scary. But it's a wonky world, and it's in mine. So I'm going to use one of my finger daubers, and I'm going to continue to use the potting soil. And I'm just going to ink around the edges, again, just to give it some shading, not being perfect, letting it go where it goes. On my fingers is where it goes, mainly because my thumb gets in the way. But just to ink around the edges, to give them some depth. I use archival ink for this because it doesn't bleed in case it gets wet. It's permanent once it dries. The sentiment that I'm using is from Mama Elephant, and it's called Retro Holiday Labels, and I just love this stamp set. I use it a lot for my tags, my gift tags, and it's Believe in the Magic of Christmas. And to me, any holiday that we celebrate during this time is something that we truly should believe in. It brings families together and all of that fun stuff. So I just always liked that sentiment. So I stamped that in the upper right-hand corner with my VersaFine Black. I'm using a piece of fun foam to prop on the back. And again, I'm using my double-sided tape that I get from Joann's, which is very awesomely priced. I'm going to see if I can find a link to it and put that down there. But it's $2 a roll, which is excellent. So once I have that in place, we now want to build our poinsettia. So the beauty about a poinsettia is the leaves, the greenery, is the same type of leaf as the colored flower. Those green leaves actually go into the color of the red or the white. And can you believe they're now coming in purple and blue? I saw them in Lowe's. I almost died. The purple would match my hair, honestly. But anyway, we digress. So I'm able to use all of those greens, and I only chose 1 shade of the green for this, but both shades of the red. So now I'm just going to build. I want to get the base of the extra large leaves, because then I'll know where to build our flower when it comes to that. So I'm using the Art Glitter Glue just on the tip. I could glue the entire leaf down, but I find if I just put the glue on the tips, I have the ability to lift up if I want to add something. Again, our eyes tell us what looks right, what doesn't look right, and I'm a filler. So once I have the base down, I want to keep adding. I grabbed my wax pencil because it's round. It's not a typical pencil, and I'm able to curl these edges once they're set. Now you can use anything, a skewer, a knitting needle, a crochet hook, a toothpick, anything you've got going on there to use to create that. You just want to make sure that it's round. I built the flower off camera and I flipped it upside down. So now I'm grabbing from the bottom and I want to use my glue dots, and I'm using the mini glue dots and just putting them in the center. I'm going to continue to build this flower. We're going to offset a little bit. We're going to just angle them just a little bit. We don't want it so dimensional because flowers are not dimensional. And every once in a while, you're going to see that I'm grabbing my wax pencil and I'm pushing down into the center. And what that's actually doing is it's making those glue dots squish. These are technical terms, people. Squish. So it kind of pushes them down flat, but yet it's lifting the side of the poinsettia petals. So I'm kind of getting my own dimension there. And you can see I'm really pushing down on that just so that it'll just squish. Again, technical terms. Now I'm just going to go in and just curve some of them. Now I found that the wax pencil was getting a little bit big because some of the centers, as we get closer to the center, they're smaller. So you'll see I'll actually grab a paintbrush. And here you see I'm adding in. Here's now where I'm able to lift up those corners and push these leaves down in there. Excuse me, and just push down so that the glue adheres. I even have some of those super large petals for the red poinsettia portion. They can work too. It all depends on how you want your flower to be. When I see poinsettias, they're not perfectly round, so that's why I'm kind of shooting in some reds and kind of making it oblong. But again, your eye will tell you, so you can just keep adding to this. Here's where I'm grabbing a small brush. It's got a thin barrel to it, and I'm just able to go in there just to give it just a little bit of curves. I don't want to put foam squares underneath it. I just want it to look natural like that. That's our poinsettia, so that's that. So now we've got to embellish this. So I grabbed my Nouveau Drops copper penny. And I chose the copper. I wanted it to look like, one, I love the copper, the color of copper. And I started by putting drops in. I figured, okay, let's have the texture of the drops. It wasn't working for me. For some reason, me and the Nouveau Drops are just not getting along this morning. So I put a huge glob in the center. Now, off camera, I was really beating the card down. I didn't want y'all to see that. It was kind of violent. This is Christmas time, holiday season. We can't be beating things. To make it look like metal was soldered in the center of the flower. So you'll see that in the ending photos. I grabbed my gold Wink of Stella. This is not the clear. And I'm just going on the tips and then creating some vines in those larger leaves. And that is the card. I do come in with my clear, sorry about that, the Spectrum Noir, just to highlight the December 25th date. And there's our card. I think this is really pretty. It's really elegant. You can see how the Nouveau Drops there kind of look like metal was melted into the center of it. So I hope you give this a try. If you have other layering dies, you can use those as well. It doesn't have to be this one. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. So much is being planned for the year 2018. I can't believe we're almost there. I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday season. And I just wanted to wish you all that on December 25th as I do celebrate Christmas. Remember, everybody, always be creative no matter what you do.